Dan and Jeff hand it off to our halfback.
Fred Taylor, every time he touches it, he's a candidate to go the distance.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins DUI defense firm on 1010XL.
All right, ready to talk to Freddie T. Jaguars have completed the preseason. I know it doesn't matter, but it's better to have good things to talk about than bad things, right? They outscored the opposition, Fred, 77-20. I know it doesn't matter, but can we build off of some of this or no?
Listen, let me tell you. Let's start fresh.
Okay.
It always matters.
Okay.
It matters. It doesn't matter in the regular season scheme of things, but from the evaluation standpoint, confidence by the players. Do you think if Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the performance he had and those snaps that he took, he will go into week one with the same confidence? Travis Etienne finally got a chance to skirt through a few of those cracks there.
Mm-hmm.
He looked great, very explosive. I mean, so for me, preseason matters from an evaluation standpoint, from a I think I'm ready to go standpoint, more so than, struggling. So they look good, man. I know the 3-0, that's better than 0-3.
Sure.
And, all that other stuff. So I think they look good, and hopefully they have some sustainability this year.
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, keeping in mind who they played on Friday night, they did what they were supposed to do, right? And when you see a rookie make a catch across the middle and get yards after the catch, go for 38 yards, and you see Parker Washington contributing to the team, and you see a defense allowing the other team like 5 first downs. I mean, those are good things. Again, keeping in mind who they were playing against. Atlanta opted to not play any of its starters, but in terms of matchsticks, it was an easy bet. The Jags to cover, but and I think you make a good point. You got to be feeling good right now, and Trevor had a great preseason / training camp. So, and we want Trevor to be better than he was a year ago. And so far he is. Now it all counts, and it doesn't matter if things go awry starting next Sunday, and they got a tough first 4 games for sure.
Yeah, there was a moment during that game as well. He threw an amazing pass to the sideline to Parker. And I think one of the Falcons guys rolled up on his ankle.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Come on, not again. But thankfully, and again, that's how valuable these guys are. Things can happen so fast. The NFL is just, it's just a violent sport, man. But luckily for us, Trevor was able to get out of it. We got the passing or the roughing call on the quarterback. So he looked good. Travis Etienne, I was happy to see him finally find some daylight. The offensive line looked well. I think they, in pass rush situations, they can be better. They certainly can be better, but this was the first game that they all played together as a unit. But overall, I'm going to give him an A coming out of the preseason.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Parker Washington. That kid continues to make play after play after play each and every week, and I hope he gets an opportunity to contribute more on the offensive side.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I thought that was very encouraging, his ability to step in and make plays that look very veteran, from that slot, especially considering he didn't play a ton last year. Fred, when you were a player, did it matter to you if you opened the season at home or on the road or who the opponent was? At what point do you really even start to take note of who you're even playing? I've heard stories. You can ask a Jaguar right now, who do you play game 3? They have no idea. They're always focused on what's next. I'm just curious on what your philosophy was on that, or how you recall getting ready for that opener.
I mean, it's a great feeling to open up the season in front of your fans, in front of your home base fans right there in Jacksonville. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's always hot. You can guarantee that. But it's just a great feeling, to run out of the tunnel, man. You got the smoke, you got the fans, you got the flyover, you got all of that stuff, and it just charges you up a bit more. So you look forward to it. But also, I want to say that, even if you have to go on the road, football, it's in the air. The grass smells different. So, you love it no matter what. But it's nothing like opening in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, I would guess. And there's been some pretty good home openers. Down in Miami, you're down there in South Florida. Tell me, I know they got high expectations down there as well, and they take on Tua And boy, what a great test for this new defense that we don't know what we're going to see, right? I suspect that Miami will have a little bit. They'll have to go back and look at the Falcons' defense from last year because that's where Coach Nielsen comes from. But I suspect that there is a little bit of what are we going to do? I'm sure we didn't show a lot during the preseason, but it was a preseason where the defense only gave up 20 points in 3 games.
Yeah, it's one of the first week is going to be one of those. Every week is a chess match, but the first week,
sure,
you just never know. You try your best to go back to last year, and you do your studies. I believe most teams they'll go 4 games deep, but we all know Mike McDaniel is the offensive guru.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Peterson is the offensive guru. They both are going to get out there, and they've gotten with their defensive coordinators and say, you can expect this, 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 and this. I know one thing Miami is going to do. A lot of over routes and clear outs by Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to play, the multi-level game where you have a deep ball, a crosser, and someone short coming in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to flood the pass flow a whole lot. So, Tua, the key to the game is going to always be getting after the quarterback. The team that can successfully run the ball early and get after the opposing team's quarterback the most throughout the game, they're going to win the game.
What did you brought up Tua? I'm curious if you had an opinion one way or the other. The fact I was a bit surprised that he had held on to those hurt feelings from his rookie year coach and Brian Flores, considering now that they have already been moved on and he's had a lot of success since then. Just did that strike you one way or the other, the comments that he had about Coach Flores?
Yeah, I think the timing of it, you have to release whatever burdens that you're holding on to. And I hopefully for Tua, this was the final phase in him, being free. He got his contract. That can free you up, $200 million or whatever the number was. So that can certainly relieve a lot of stress. But just to finally say, you know what? I respect Coach Flores for, being tough on me, but I got to let this go. I got to give it back to the universe, and hopefully I'm just free. I can just go and play and approach the game that I've always approached it. We don't know. He could be taking therapy. And sometimes they tell you, look, just give it back to the universe. And hopefully from there, your burden, the weight of the heavy load, is lightened. And you can just go out and just be the person that you really are. Coach B-Flow, I had him up in New England for some time. He was a young assistant. And, he's just a fiery guy. He meant it, but I don't think he, really tried to break to her.
Right.
He wanted him to get better. Like, how can I use this as, reinforcement to bring the best out of this guy? Comments I wouldn't have necessarily made per se. I would have just, look, we got to find a way to tap into this kid. But each coach coaches differently. But I do know B-Flow. He's not a bad guy. Those comments were bad, but overall, he's not a bad guy.
I thought he handled it right. You know what?
Afterwards,
if I came across that way,
yeah.
I wasn't being the right coach that I should. And I think sometimes coaches have this expectation. I got a quarterback of 10 alpha dogs here going out and gladiating every weekend. I'm surprised
right.
that this bothered him, right? Or this hurt him. There's maybe sometimes just an assumption of.
And that's the thing about pro players. It's so much machismo and this masculine energy in football, right, that people don't expect us to be vulnerable or not to have a vulnerable side.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we're human, like everyone else. Like, we hurt. When the fans say this, we're supposed to be, we're supposed to have a callus. We're not always immune to it. When they say they come out and they say this or they curse you out or they dig up some information. Like my guy, quarterback, Los Angeles Rams. I'm having a brain fart right now. Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go through it every arena he walks in this year with those comments his wife said.
Right.
Holy moly. See, but they're going to hurt at some point.
Yeah.
And he's going to think about that. And it could affect this play as well, but we try to hide that.
Mm-hmm.
I was in that place before. You try to hide certain emotions and feelings. No, I'm tough. I got to do this.
Right.
I got to be the guy in the locker room everybody's looking up to. But carrying all that weight, man, it can wear down on you.
Fred, one more thing before we let you go. Gators and Canes play. It's kind of we got a little North Florida, South Florida games on two different levels here. And then, boy, FSU, what a surprise there.
To get out physical by the Engineers was shocking.
Yeah. So just a couple thoughts, a couple college ball thoughts before we let you run here.
Revenge of the Nerds, Fred.
look, the almighty girls' school. I saw a meme. Someone sent me a meme, and they couldn't wait to send it. Right? I guess they wanted me to repost it. But there's a photo. It's a photo of a vehicle. Sitting on the side of the road or in a parking lot or whatever it is, with the back window busted out. And basically, it said, be careful, everyone. I had 2 tickets to the FSU versus Boston College game next week in my car. Someone broke in and left 4 more.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks like that return to glory lasts about 16 months, boys. Looks like that's what we got.
Well, yeah, we're Gators, so we're going to kind of knock them.
Yeah. You going to get us a win Saturday, Fred? What do you got? Give me the feeling.
You know what? I predicted my score assumption or prediction is 20-13 Gators.
I'll take it.
Obviously. Low scoring game. I think the Canes are only going to put up 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, or a touchdown and a mixed extra point. They're going to have 13 points in my head. The Gators, same. 2 touchdowns, 2 kick field goals, in a win at home versus a team we rarely get to play. So I'm looking for tickets. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, I'm looking for tickets. I'm contemplating going. So the closer it gets, I'm like, I can't miss this game.
Listen to me, Fred Taylor.
If you have it, I gotta go.
You ought to have the hotline to the coach, and they ought to
get you on the sideline, Fred. I'll make
pass,
a call.
Okay? I mean,
I might have to sign an NIL deal.
I love it.
All right, my man. Well, appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you, Fred.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good
one. All right. That's the Monday morning running back. Enjoyed catching up with Fred. Not many people can catch up with Fred. We can each and every morning. And as always, our guests here on the drill appear on the Garber Auto Mall hotline.